Here's a map of the numerous stops the Prime Minister's visit to North Carolina brought. This afternoon, his wife went to Chapel Hill High School. She visited a Japanese language class. And as WRAL's Sean Gallagher reports, she was pretty impressed.
It started like any normal Friday at Chapel Hill High School. But for this classroom of students, they were treated to a very special guest, Mrs. Yuko Kishida, the spouse of Japan's Prime Minister.
She was so wonderful. Mrs. Kishida is so kind and so nice.
Yoshimi Oiyagi's class prepared a slideshow for Mrs. Kishida about what they're learning about Japanese culture.
I know that you are studying Japanese very hard.
The class also asked Mrs. Kishida some questions, the students only speaking in Japanese. Learning more about the Prime Minister's spouse, her favorite foods.
My favorite food in Hiroshima is okonomiyaki, Japanese savory pancake.
Music.
The Japanese pop music.
And her hometown.
I actually grew up in a mountainous area of Hiroshima. So
We just got the eclipse this Monday, but this is more than that.
Oiyagi says this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for her and her class, especially junior Kyle Logano.
A person from my home country is in my other home country, the United States.
Kyle wanted his class to make a great impression on Mrs. Kishida and feels they did just that.
That Japanese is alive and well.
and it will lead to the interaction with the Japanese people. And it also leads to the connection to the world.
After visiting Chapel Hill High School, Mrs. Kishida went to Duke Gardens to participate in one of her favorite pastimes, a traditional Japanese tea gathering. Sean Gallagher, WRAL News, Chapel Hill.
We actually have some pictures from that traditional Japanese tea gathering at Duke Gardens to share with you. First Lady Kristen Cooper joined Mrs. Kishida for the tea. It took place in the Durham-Toyama Sister Cities Tea Pavilion in the Japanese Garden.